Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
The sky's the limit for small business owners when they think big. The skills they're learning at an expo today setting them up for success in the future. And a COVID policy for Medicaid patients that's now expired has thousands scrambling to get new coverage after their policies lapsed. The steps to take if you are one of those people. What a mess, all these people getting dirty to help clean up the environment. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Taylor is off tonight. Helping small businesses here in the state line grow. Think Big held their Entrepreneur Expo today at the UW Health Sports Factory in downtown Rockford. It's a business trade show and a place for minority and women-owned businesses to come together, network, and learn from each other. Like Jarmise McNeil, who owns Jacinta Candles in Rockford.
This is definitely an opportunity to learn from each other. Whether you're young or you're old, you can always learn from someone else. It's definitely beneficial because you can get that connection with them and build that relationship. It just makes it more of on a personal level.
Today's keynote speaker was Jamar Luster. He owns Ripe Life Juice Company in downtown Rockford and has this advice for anyone thinking of starting a business.
You know, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. It's no perfect time. So, you know, if you start today, you just change as you go. But now is the time.
There were 45 businesses in attendance today. About 20 have been through the Think Big School of Business, which is a 4-week session to learn the ins and outs of starting a successful business. A man is in custody after a standoff in Rockford last night. Around 5 this morning, RPD tweeted the man exited the house. It all started before 8 last night when police say they were negotiating with the man in a home on 16th Avenue. That's a couple blocks west of Keymalquist Park. Police originally said it was a domestic situation. They haven't released any more information, though. We'll bring you any updates as soon as we get them. Tens of thousands of people in Illinois and across the country learned this week their Medicaid coverage ended. They need to go through a renewal process to determine their eligibility after it was paused during the pandemic. State Capitol reporter Theodora Coulivaris explains.
More than 47,000 people in Illinois no longer have Medicaid coverage this month.
I'm disheartened, but not surprised. We expected that just due to the fact it hasn't happened in 3 years, we might have a higher number of people who would lose coverage.
Before the pandemic, people were required to go through a renewal process every year to determine if they were still eligible for coverage. But the federal government paused that because of the COVID-19 public health emergency. That pause came to an end earlier this year, and the state began sending out renewal notices to people.
Everybody kind of has to get back in the groove again of knowing that they need to watch for letters from the state, have their eligibility checked again. And a lot of people have either never done it before, so they don't know how, or have forgotten.
Some who lost their coverage were no longer eligible. Others either didn't show proof of their eligibility or didn't provide additional information to the state.
One of the concerns we have is our information getting to you? So let's be proactive and make sure that they have the opportunities to be able to update their address, right? And update their contact information. And again, our top priority is making sure everyone who is eligible maintains their coverage.
But for people who didn't respond, they can get their coverage reinstated if they send in their information within 90 days.
If they had to go to the doctor in between or something came up and they had to go to the hospital, their coverage would be reinstated, so they would actually have no gap in coverage within that 90-day period.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Theodora Coulivaris.
The Department of Health and Family Services wants people to get online and set up their account, make sure their address is up to date, and find their due date so they'll know when they get the renewal material. Of the more than 47,000 who lost their Medicaid coverage this month, more than 13,000 were no longer eligible. More than 34,000 didn't show proof of their eligibility or didn't provide additional information. The federal government estimates that about 700,000 people will lose their coverage over this year. A shuttered Boone County winery finds new owners and new life. Blossom & Bee Winery has taken over the old McCachran Homestead Winery in Caledonia. McCachran closed last fall. The new owners are still doing all the behind-the-scenes work to get it up and running. That includes getting new permits and winemaking and liquor licenses. Blossom & Bee plans to start processing its first fruit soon and hopes to open in the next few months. Hundreds of people got full of mud for a clean cause. It's all for Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful's annual mud volleyball tournament at Riverside Park in Roscoe. 24 outdoor volleyball courts are flooded to create this. Then 170 teams jump into the mud pits, pitting themselves against other teams. Like these guys, the Mud Flaps. This is their first year at the tournament, but they think they have what it takes to go all the way because of their skills.
Everything, serving, middle ground, young, and
nothing much really. Just hit the ball and hope for the best.
Your feet get stuck every second.
Others say the tournament feels like a big family gathering. Bump Shot Spike tied for 32nd place last year, but say just coming out and playing is fun.
It's a good thing to do. You can get together. Everybody's out here barbecuing, having fun, hanging out. We're playing bags, throwing footballs in between matches and stuff. It's for charity. And I mean, it's just, there's so many people out here. You meet new people. Everything out here is positive.
Like they said, the yearly mud volleyball tournament is a fundraiser for Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful. The nonprofit's mission is to reduce, reuse, and recycle waste. Well, heads up, tomorrow Winnebago County is gearing up to host an international cycling race. Nearly 1,000 athletes will bike through Rockford, South Beloit, and Pecatonica for the Grand Fondo New York Marathon. And all those bikers are going to cause some delays. There are two distances. Everyone starts at 7:30 in the morning at the Venetian Club on Elmwood and North Main. There's a long route of 93.6 miles and a medium route of 63 miles. The roads will all reopen around 2:30. If you plan on being in the area tomorrow, you might want to find a different route. Former President Donald Trump saying he will not back down despite new charges against him, but Americans may feel differently. Results of a new ABC News poll asking, should the former president suspend his presidential campaign?
Our temperatures have only warmed into the upper 70s so far this afternoon, at least in Rockford. A little bit of sunshine coming out, though, will help to warm us up potentially just a little bit more into the evening. Additional sunshine could fuel some storms later on tomorrow. I'll break down the details and timing of that coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Taylor Castro, Reagan Holgate, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Welcome back. Donald Trump on the campaign trail this weekend amid those mounting legal challenges. The former president saying all the indictments are helping him in the polls. But a new poll shows nearly 2/3 of Americans think the latest charges are serious. Here's ABC's Ike Jochi with the details.
On the campaign trail in Alabama Friday night, former President Donald Trump claiming he's the victim of a politically motivated prosecution.
They want to interfere in my campaign. They want to interfere in the elections.
And according to a new ABC News Ipsos poll, 46% of Americans think the new charges against Trump are politically motivated. Trump pleading not guilty earlier this week in special counsel Jack Smith's January 6th election interference case. The latest indictment reads Trump was entitled to formally challenge the results of the election through lawful and appropriate means, such as by seeking recount or filing lawsuits, but that Trump pursued unlawful means of discounting legitimate votes and subverting the election results. Trump facing 4 new charges about his attempts to stay in power: conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, specifically the January 6th certification of the results, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights to deprive people of their right to vote and to have their votes counted. An ABC News Ipsos poll shows 65% of the American public think the allegations that he tried to steal an election that he lost are serious, and 49% of Americans think he should suspend his campaign. On Friday, the former president posting on Truth Social, saying, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." The special counsel alerted the court of that post in a motion asking for a protective order to prevent Trump from leaking sensitive information about the case on social media, so prosecutors can begin providing discovery to Trump's legal team in the case. The Trump campaign responded in a statement late Friday, claiming the social media post cited in the prosecution's court filing is the definition of political speech. The judge has given Trump's attorneys until 5 p.m. Monday to respond. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Well, clouds and rainy skies made for a drab morning, but the sun came back out this afternoon. It turned out to be a pretty nice day. And that rain that we thought we'd get tomorrow might be gone. Jordan tells us what to expect for our Sunday coming up next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It was a little bit of a busy morning across parts of central Illinois with this complex of storms that had been working its way through the area that actually produced some pretty heavy rainfall, especially toward areas just to the south of Interstate 80. When we look at some of those rain totals, this box kind of averaged between Interstate 55 and Interstate 65 in Indiana, a little bit in that area. Averaged just under 3 inches of rainfall, with some reports that have been up around 6 inches of rain that have fallen in a relatively short amount of time in some of those areas. That system, though, remaining obviously well off to our south, keeping us at least underneath the more drier conditions. We did see at least a few of these wraparound showers that are trying to work into the area, but otherwise we've actually seen a little bit of sunshine as of late. That sunshine showing up when we look at our SkyTrack camera overlooking downtown Rockford. Up on the Supply Corps building is brought to us by Window World. We are seeing some of that sunshine, and that's helped to bring our temperatures up just a little bit in the recent hours. We're up to 78 degrees in Rockford, 80 in Freeport, 81 in Savannah, and 81 out in Galena as well. Dew points remaining in the 60s, and a couple spots getting close to that 70-degree mark, so it is feeling a little bit more humid with some of that moisture being transported from that weather system. Our weather watcher Jim on the southwest side of Rockford is reporting a temperature of 80 degrees, a dew point of 65, and 1/100th of an inch of precipitation since midnight last night. The rest of the night tonight, we are not going to see a whole lot of rain, but a very isolated shower cannot be ruled out, especially during the early part of the evening. Otherwise, temperatures falling back down into the mid-60s for the overnight low tonight. We do return back into the 80s tomorrow, but not very warm. Pretty close to where we were today, as a matter of fact. 81 degrees for our afternoon high. Isolated showers early, and then a few chances for some rain and even some storms once we get later into the evening and going into the overnight hours. This is all fueled because of how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, especially with the heavier rain off to our south and our southeast. What's happening is there's two different low pressure systems. This is the first one that's impacting us right now, but the next one that will come in, we see those spirals. That's where the spiral of moisture is kind of showing up on this map here. That's going to kind of move into the area here, and that's going to, again, keep the bulk of it to our south, but we could get hit at least by the very northern end of some of that moisture, bringing us at least an isolated chance for a shower, maybe even a rumble or two of thunder as well. However, the severe threat that we were watching has shifted a little bit further off to the south because the influence of that first system keeping things more south also is kind of driving where that next system is going to go. This is that line that could bring us at least a few chances for some gustier winds as we get into tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours. But as I mentioned, the threat for the severe weather has shifted south, with now only our southwestern areas underneath a level 1 out of 5 or a marginal risk for that severe weather. And the good news is that once we get past the weekend, we are going to continue to hold on to those cooler temperatures. A little bit breezy on Monday with still a few wraparound showers possible, but then temperatures warming right back up a little bit closer to where we should be, with another chance for rain for the middle and end of next week.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Reagan's next with sports. The Cubs back on their game with the Braves in town. Reagan will have those highlights after the break.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Cubs got hit with a bit of a reality check yesterday, getting cooled off by the league-leading Braves 8-0, but the Cubs got their chance at 8 today in Game 2. Let's go to the bottom of the first, and it's Cody Bellinger with one to right field. It goes under the glove of Matt Olson, and the Cubbies score 2 on the air. Next batter is going to be Dansby Swanson, getting his revenge after yesterday's performance against his former club. A 2-run homer, his 17th on the season. But the Cubs aren't done just yet in the first. Timer Candelario gets in on the party. That's his first as a Cub, 5-0. Good guys. It's 7-4 in the 7th when Ian Happ adds some insurance. Lucky number 13 for Happer. The Cubs able to hold on 8-6 to even the series. The White Sox looking for a win in Game 2 tonight with the Guardians. No score right now in the first, and the Brewers trying to do the same against the Pirates. That one is also scoreless to start the first. The Bears practicing at Hallis Hall this morning before heading to Soldier Field tomorrow. Yannick Ngakoue not practicing yet, though. He went back home to take care of a few things before returning early next week. The team made the Mercedes Lewis signing official today, though, with the 39-year-old crediting former Packer teammate Robert Tonyan and Luke Getzey for helping bring him aboard.
Bobby was a big component in like getting me here, right? Him and Getzey. Like I talked to Getzey probably 4 days a week for like 2 months. One thing that, you know, kept coming up was just young, hungry, active, the culture. You're gonna love it here.
What was your reaction when you found out he was coming here?
That I did my job.
Ooh, so you did your job. You had
it didn't take a lot of convincing, but like he had options, and he didn't. Coming back for your 18th season, you don't want to waste time. He's definitely not wasting his time with where this program and where this team is going.
All right, the Pac-12 has had a rough couple of days, yesterday being the worst of it with the departure of 5 more schools. That leaves Stanford, Cal, Washington State, and Oregon State in nowhere land. So where do they go from here? Well, the Mountain West could either swoop up the remaining members or merge the leagues. But the Conference of Champions, that shining jewel in the West, is nearly now gone. The U.S. women's national team are fresh off their worst group stage in Women's World Cup history. But that's in the rearview mirror now, and there's no room for error now in the knockout stage. The Americans will face number 3 ranked Sweden, and the play up to this point has been pretty poor, but the players aren't panicking. The U.S. is going into tomorrow's match looking like an underdog, a rare position for the women to be in. The Sweden that the U.S. will face tomorrow is quite familiar, though, and that's motivation in itself.
It hasn't been the tournament that I would have hoped, but at the same time, having this incredible opportunity in front of us in the round of 16, facing Sweden, a team we know extremely well, I think that there's no question we're highly motivated to play in this game tomorrow.
Now, if you want to watch the women play Sweden, set those alarm clocks because that game is on at the lovely hour of 4 a.m. and that's on Fox 39. That's sports. We'll be right back.
First one, interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass and More shows a few of the scattered showers that could be coming off from our low pressure system off to our south and our southeast. Another low pressure system will bring us additional rain chances once we get into tomorrow afternoon and going into the evening. Some storms possible, and then eventually some slightly cooler temperatures back into the low 80s and upper 70s for next week.
That's it for us. Have a great night.